Hi, welcome to the Light of Deception. Today is a day we're going to be talking about many things. If this is your first time on this site, on this channel, I wanted you to let you know a little bit about us. We are a ministry, a discernment ministry that is focusing on church and world deception. So today we're going to be talking about the things that are going on in the world today that you might not know of, or you might know a little bit about. So it's going to be a brief overview of these three things. So we're going to be talking about the next 6G, coming in 2030, working on 6G when they just released 5G. Is that dangerous? We're going to be looking at that. We're going to be looking at ESG, environmental social governance. So we're going to see about this rating scale they're using for businesses, and can any small business maintain what they're looking for to get a good rating score by this ESG. We're also going to be looking at food shortage. Some people think that we're stocked with food on the shelves, and what do we have to be worried about? Well, let's just look and see what's going on. So this is going to be looking at, are we looking for the future reset, or are we going into a deficiency, right? Are we looking at the goals that are coming up? So we're talking about the 2030 agenda a little bit, and things that they have, just really looking at the 23. So we're going to be looking at the 6G that's going to be coming out in 2030. All these businesses that need to be all environmentally friendly, and they need to be bringing all their stuff into diversity, equity, and inclusion. You need to be talking about all these different things and building up to a 2030 sustainability. So are we looking at these great goals that are going to be good for the future, or more of a global dark plan? So let's get started. First, we're going to be looking at 6G. And this is just going to be a brief overview. So here it is.
Will 6G be dangerous? We'll be looking at that right here. The only concern trend with technology advancement is the need to increase hertz for faster technology. Hertz refers to a number of crests in the radio frequency radiation, also called RF radiation, in a single second. Current technology uses 1 to 2 billion hertz, also referred to as gigahertz. 5G far surpasses that at 70 GHz. Recently, the FCC opened the path to 6G by opening up 95 gigahertz all the way to 3 terahertz. Current science tells us that there is nothing to worry about because all of this radiation is in the form of non-ionizing radiation. Ionizing means that it has enough energy to knock electrons out of the atoms, which could cause cancer along with a host of other negative health effects.
The Earth is moving. We all like speed. We like speed more than that. 6G is coming to us. Do you know what is 6G? 6G, sixth generation wireless, is the successor to 5G cellular technology. 6G networks will be able to use higher frequencies than 5G networks and provide substantially higher capacity and much lower latency. One of the goals of the 6G internet is to support 1 microsecond latency communications. This is 1,000 times faster, or 1/1000th the latency, than 1 millisecond throughput. The 6G technology market is expected to facilitate large improvements in the areas of imaging, presence technology and location awareness. Working in conjunction with artificial intelligence, AI, the 6G computational infrastructure will be able to identify the best place for computing to occur. This includes decisions about data storage, processing and sharing. It is important to note that 6G is not yet a functioning technology. While some vendors are investing in the next generation wireless standard, industry specifications for 6G-enabled network products remain years away. What are the advantages of 6G versus 5G? 6G's higher frequencies will enable much faster sampling rates than with 5G. They will also provide significantly better throughput and higher data rates. The use of sublime waves, wavelengths less than 1 mm, and frequency selectivity to determine relative electromagnetic absorption rates is expected to advance the development of wireless sensing technology. When will 6G Internet be available? 6G Internet is expected to launch commercially in 2030. Many companies have already started investing greatly in 6G. Some of the world's biggest tech giants are seen to participate and even collaborate on this next-generation technology. One such example is Qualcomm, Apple, Google, and LG, who are among the members of one 6G working group. Meanwhile, a great number of users have still not transitioned from 4G to 5G. Especially in some parts of India, where people are yet to experience the true speed of the 4G network.
Okay, so what do you think? Do you think that 6G is going to be good for this world? How is 5G doing? Is it affecting mankind? Is there too much radiation going on in the world? Are people getting sicker? Or they're just all consumed in this global technology metaverse, right? Into the meta. So what is going on? Is it just going to be all consuming, or is it really going to be dangerous? We'll be looking at it more closely later. Now we're going to be looking at the ESG. Let's see what that is. So here's a breakdown for you.
Environmental, social, and governance, and refers to the three key factors when measuring the sustainability and ethical impact of an investment in a business or company. Most socially responsible investors check companies out using ESG criteria to screen investments. Environmental, social, and governance factors are a subset of non-financial performance indicators. They include ethical, sustainable, and corporate government issues, such as making sure there are systems in place to ensure accountability and managing the corporation's carbon footprint. The number of investment funds that incorporate ESG factors has been growing rapidly since the beginning of this century. The number is expected to continue rising significantly over the decade to come. Put simply, environmental, social, and governance are the three main factors that socially responsible investors measure when deciding whether to invest in a company. It is a generic term used in capital markets to determine how far advanced companies are with sustainability. ESG's three central factors are environmental criteria, which examines how a business performs as a steward for our natural environment, focusing on waste and pollution, resource depletion, greenhouse gas emissions, deforestation, and climate change. Social criteria, which looks at how a company treats people and concentrates on employee relations and diversity, working conditions, local communities, health and safety, and conflict. And governance criteria, which examines how a corporation policies itself, how the company is governed, and focuses on tax strategy, executive pay, donations and political lobbying, corruption and bribery, and diversity and structure. If you are an investor and would like to buy ESG screened securities, you should consider socially responsible mutual funds and exchange traded funds. Experts say that what constitutes an appropriate set of ESG criteria is subjective. It depends on what your priorities are. You need to do the research yourself if you want to seek out investments that precisely match your values. The notion that socially responsible investing comes at a cost, that is, you will make less money, is a myth. In fact, the opposite is often the case. Studies have shown that investors who adopt an ESG approach tend to get a better return than their non-ESG counterparts.
Now, does that look like something that every business, every small business can meet these goals and hit this rating scale for them to be able to stay open, to be able to be sustainable, to be able to get funding? What is this going to be like for any small, medium-sized business? Or is it only going to be the elite businesses that can afford to make this overhaul? Well, we'll have to see. That's another thing. We're going to be looking just a little bit at the Dow right now. They have pages and pages and pages about what they're going to be doing moving forward. So they want all these new things set by 2025. We're just going to be looking at a brief on what they're focusing on because it's going to hit the right rating scale. So here it is.
Okay, let's look at the priorities for the ECG for the Dow. Dow's ECG report focuses on 4 strategy areas, of action: environmental performance, inclusion, diversity and equity, community, and corporate governance. These areas reflect how we are working as a team to deliver solutions to global challenges and create lasting value for our customers, community, employees, and business. Let's break down these 4 strategies. Environmental performance. Our strategy for building a more sustainable world by focusing on 3 priorities areas: circular economy, climate protection, and safer materials. These areas address some of the most pressing challenges facing our planet and offer the most opportunity for Dow to use our science and global scale to make a positive impact. Inclusion, diversity, and equity. Realizing our purpose and ambition as a company requires an inclusive culture that enables our people to develop, advance, be heard, and contribute their greatest value. It requires a diverse workforce that brings wide-ranging, fresh perspectives on how to tackle global challenges and innovate for our customers. Community. We believe in sustainable business that creates positive social change. The global citizenship strategy is a roadmap to how we connect our core strength, our science and technology experiences, and global reach and resources to enhance the lives of people in our community and help make our planet more sustainable. Corporate governance. Best-in-class governance strengthens accountability and protects the long-term interest of the Dow stakeholders. ESG leadership starts with our diverse and highly skilled board and well-defined community structure. The board actively engages with management and oversight and stewardship of the company's strategies, risk management, and overall performance.
All right. So does it seem to you that this rating scale is going to work across the board? We'll have to see. Next, we're going to be looking at food shortages. Is there really food shortages? Are there really going to be, is there things going on with farmers? Is there things that we need to know? Well, let's take out a look at a brief definition of what's going on, and then behind that's going to be a video. I hope this really helps you. Stay tuned. Here it is.
Farmers are sounding the alarm: a collapsing supply chain, skyrocketing fuel prices, fertilizer shortages, devastating weather patterns, scary animal feed costs, bird flu, swine flu, and spontaneous combustions of processing faculties are creating a catastrophic food crisis beyond our imaginations. Don't be fooled by the full shelves at your local grocery store. The crisis is just months away.
Just play this video for them. Fast forward this little segment and play this video, because this is important. And this is a message that all Americans need to be hearing, and really people around the world, because this is affecting the whole world. But this is a message that Americans need to be hearing. And that's in a lot of ways why I'm doing this show, because I really believe that if we can prepare for what's coming, it will make a significant difference. So why don't you go ahead and just check this out. Let me play this for you. And I'm going to go ahead and full screen this. All right.
But anyway, she says to me, really the cost of eggs for us to produce them is not surprising at $12 a dozen. A bulk bag of feed last year was $185. Now I pay $430. I'm godsmacked at the comments on different channels about farmers ripping people off on egg prices. Shows people are not paying attention to what is happening. Wake up, people. We no longer sell our eggs and will downsize our poultry again, as we've been warned feed is going up again. Well, I will keep enough hens and roosters to increase my flocks again in spring for our consumption. The problem is people do not understand how their food is produced. What farmers produce this year is for next year's consumption. I roll my eyes when I hear people say there are no food shortages and our meat aisle is almost full. It's just fear-mongering. People using their grocery store as a gauge of their family's food security will pay dearly for their ignorance. Yes, there is meat in store. Now look deeper. Last year's low crop yields, crop losses, and hay losses across North America resulted in massive downsizing of livestock across Canada and the US. No hay, inability to get hay, or skyrocketing feed prices was the result of last year's harvests. First time, all 4 prairie provinces, and this would be Canada, were hit with losses at the same time. Hay never made it to market as it was bought up locally. Many farmers downsized, keeping enough breeders to start up again in the spring. This caused a glut in the market. Then late winter, another downsizing took place as feed prices rose again. That is why you are still not seeing it in the meat aisle. Many small farmers were wiped out, and others can no longer afford to grow for market, both in Canada and the USA. We keep only enough to feed our family, and many other small farmers did the same across North America. Now look at the big picture. That many animals taken out of production are not reproducing this year to replenish the market. Not enough animals to meet supply demand. You are looking at 18 months to raise up a steer and 8-10 months a pig. Don't forget now, farmers need to keep what they breed to build up livestock again if they want to continue farming. Feed prices make that unlikely. Many countries have closed exports of food. Same situation as us. Look it up. So no way to replenish the losses. It costs more to feed the animals than what you can sell them for, not including your labor and transportation to market. Remember those fuel hikes? Farmers grow it, but truckers haul it to market. Are you seeing the true picture yet? No different with the grains, cereal crops, cooking oils, etc. Now look at this year's spring seeding of fields. Notice any fields not planted? The cost of fuel, seed shortages, remember last year's crop losses and low yields, parts shortages, fertilizer shortages. What you are seeing in stores is from last year's harvest. You will see meat and other shortages by August. Not enough supply to meet demand and no way to import to make up for it. So meat will not be affordable even if you could get it. Poor yields and crop losses this year will compound this disaster. So the next time somebody tells you there's going to be severe shortages come winter, believe them. Ask a farmer. Now, it's comments like this from farmers who are dealing with this, and yes, they may be small farmers, and yes, the small farmers are the ones that are going to get wiped out first, but you take them out of the market, it certainly is going to make a big difference, and we know that there are issues with not enough chickens, so you're not going to get eggs. We know that there are problems with baby food supply. And the list just goes on and on and on and on. And it is a situation where one thing affects the other. Obviously, gas prices are going to make everything increase as well. We are headed for trouble. And how deep it's going to be, we don't know. Can we survive it? Of course we'll survive it. How much pain is there going to be? That's the question.
So I do appreciate how she ended that. She says, will we survive it? Yes, we will survive it. How much pain is there going to be? That is the question.
Okay, and close. Does it look like our world is becoming more sustainable? Are we going to be going into a 2030 agenda with all this stuff going on and so much more? Is it going to make our world a better place? Well, I don't think so, because what does the Bible say about these times? We're going to be looking at a passage in closing, and it is about the seasons and the times we're living in. So it's going to be 2 Timothy 3, 1 through 5, perilous times and perilous men. But know this, that in the last days perilous times will come. For men will be lovers of themselves, lovers of money, boasters, proud, blasphemers, disobedient to parents, unthankful, unholy, unloving, unforgiving, slanderers, without self-control, brutal, despisers of good, traitors, headstrong, haughty, lovers of pleasure rather than lovers of God, having a form of godliness but denying its power. And from such people turn away. Does that sound like we're going into some wonderful utopia, some great global reset, some wonderful sustainable world that mankind ushers in with all these global changes and all this technology? Now, what are we really going into? A great reset or a Great Depression? Some people say recession. Other people call it a dark winter. Well, we'll have to see. I'll keep you updated as information comes in. Thanks for watching. Until next time. Bye-bye.